As anyone with a functioning frontal lobe will tell you, bows are meant to be used with arrows. It's kind of what they were designed around. So when you try to use a bow without arrows, the game tells you that you're very stupid and you need arrows to use a bow. But is that actually true? I mean, a bow is just a fancy stick, so can't you just bonk with it? Except you can't. The bow doesn't even have a melee moveset in Dark Souls 3, begging the question of how the hell are you supposed to deal damage with a moveset that doesn't even exist? So there's a big problem. You know the ancient saying of, if it can deal damage, then you can win? Well, the bow can't deal damage without arrows because the bow does not have a melee moveset. No hidden bonk ability, no secret hitbox on weapon art, absolutely nothing. Leaving me with two glaring problems. One, how am I supposed to beat this game with only bows? And two, how do I even get past Gundyr? Surely this time I have managed to come up with a truly impossible challenge. Or have I? The problem of dealing damage with bows may remain unsolved, but I do know a way to get past Gundyr without having to deal damage. By quitting out after pulling the sword out of Gundyr, you can aggro him while being outside his boss arena. If you fail at any point during the next part, you'll have to reset from the beginning though. By luring the ravenous crystal lizard all the way to Gundyr's arena, you can have him kill Gundyr for you. The main issue being the lizard's suicidal nature. But once you get him to the arena, just let the lizard do his job. Or not. Hold on, let me check the source material. Maybe it's been patched, or am I doing something wrong? Oh. Well, that certainly bodes well for this run. I want this agony to end. He fucking fell. He fell again. It's day 2 of this shit. Dog! No! You fucking idiot! That's a cute dog. I want to pet that dog. Why pet the dog when dog can pet you? Damn it! Just one more attack! 2! Again! Ah! So close! Well, I'm probably f***ed on this attempt. Well, okay. Whatever you do, don't roll. Don't! What? Dog! Don't. No. No, 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 no! Down here, bud. Ow! You know how hard it is to keep you alive? You're like a fucking hamster. Take my eyes off you for 2 seconds and you kill yourself in the oh my god. Okay. I think I have it figured out. The crystal lizard's limit stops right in front of the boss arena, but only by barely. If he attacks and he clips into the boss arena, it will break his AI as he tries to process cosmic horrors beyond his comprehension. And there is a way to fix him though. If Gundyr smacks him hard enough to stagger him, it'll reset his AI, proving my theory that any problem can be solved with enough blunt force trauma. All that's left is to hope that I eventually get lucky enough for the crystal lizard to kill Gundyr before he completely blue screens. I never want to do that again. Don't you know it's rude to fight against someone that can't fight back? Alright, bud. You've stayed in this cell for far too long. It's about time I set you free, friend. At last, my suffering is over. Once Grey Rat is free, you can access his inventory in Firelink and acquire a crossbow. Like the regular bow, both the strong and light attack just switch between the type of ammo used. But the real benefit comes from its weapon art, Tackle. Normally, an absolutely useless skill to put on a ranged weapon finally has its time to shine. Well, if it wasn't a complete disappointment that does 0 damage at least. It seems the solution to my problem isn't here either. So I need to skip Vort without damaging any enemies. Luckily, by standing right here and angling your character this way, then moving forward, you can enter def cam without dying. From here, just roll down safely and make your way to Vort's boss arena. Although make sure to be careful not to trigger the cutscene, or otherwise you'll have to do it again. It's worth noting that this is a harder version of the 2 available Vort skips, but the easy one requires you to riposte an enemy, which is obviously against the rules. I'm also kind of bad at performing this skip in the first place. Oh, yourself. Ah! You. Ah. You. Oh, fuck you too. Woo! Quit out time. Freedom, at long last. From the tyranny of that asshole over there. Take me away, cheese demons. Loretta's bone to give someone depression if I feel like it. Oh, look. Someone's wasting ammo. Disgraceful. Shame on you. Tackle! Crab! This was a bad idea. Let's get this show on the fucking road. The only thing left that stands in between me and victory is the Crystal Sage. Obviously, I can't kill him, so I'll just have to find a way to skip him instead. The problem being, the glitch itself is really difficult to pull off. Especially with the Crystal Sage constantly firing magic at you, it can get on your nerves. Normally, you would use some form of damage negation, such as Perseverance, to stop the Crystal Sage from being such an asshole, but I found a more effective solution. Ah! Get in the cock chair! Fun fact, because the tackle weapon art does 0 damage, it breaks the game in unique ways, such as not triggering the Crystal Sage's teleport while still allowing you to move him around. So maybe tackle isn't as useless as I thought it was. When the Crystal Sage is pushed into his cuck chair in the corner, he can't really do anything to interrupt me during the glitch. His magic will be just barely out of reach, allowing me to safely attempt the glitch in peace. Run into the door. Well, at least I got a part of it down. I don't think this is what was supposed to happen, though. It seems I have made an awful mistake. This makes for a great fucking screenshot, though. Help me! I'm stuck! I live in your walls! Oh yeah, that's right. I'm in your walls, I'm in your walls, I'm in your fucking walls. I'll be back. As amusing as being in Crystal Sage's walls is, it seems to be the only place I can manage to go. And every time that happens, I have to reset, put the Crystal Sage back in his cuck chair, and hope that this time I won't go into the walls. Unfortunately, it seems old habits die hard, and I always seem to end up in the walls. To be clear, I'm performing the glitch properly. It's basically just advanced parkour. The only difference being you can't roll after you jump, or you typically end up in the walls. However, I'm not rolling after I jump, and I still end up in the walls. This is the point where you just gotta beat your head against a brick wall until you get a feel for it. I eventually managed to successfully perform the glitch, and leave behind the Crystal Sage to contemplate his life in his cuck chair. Fear the power of the world's worst archer. The power of quit-outs compels thee. Let's get ourselves a great bow. It's a trap! The cake is a lie! Who could have ever foreseen this? Fucking coward using arrows. Couldn't be me! You little bitch! I'm better! I don't need your filthy arrows. Hold on. Yeah! Yeah, that's right. This bow has the amazing power of intimidating anyone who looks upon it. This is the last bow type I can obtain. If the great bow doesn't have a way to damage enemies, then this run is well and truly impossible. And as I expected, both the light and heavy attack just switches between arrows. The weapon arts of all the great bows only affect ranged attacks, and there's no hidden properties to great bows that would allow me to deal damage with them without arrows. Well, it was a fun concept, but I guess that's just the end of this run. If no bow or bow variation has movesets that will allow me to deal damage without using arrows, how am I supposed to beat this run? There's bosses in this game that just can't be skipped, no matter what you do. So having a way to deal damage is required for just about any challenge run. And it's at this point that I remember a very obscure feature of the crossbows. For what I'm about to do, one must first understand exactly what the tackle skill is. Normally, a quite useless skill has a couple other caveats. For one, it does quite a lot of posture damage and is good at breaking shields. And two, it functions very similarly to what a kick would do in Dark Souls 3. And that is the most important part. By being embered in the cathedral, you can get invaded by Kirk. If you keep the giant aggroed and lure him to Kirk, he can take damage from him. And with enough time, the giant will kill Kirk. From there, head up and grab the armor of thorns from the body. And now, the moment of truth. Because of how similar to a kick tackle is, it also benefits from the same buff armor of thorns will give to a kick. Meaning, that which normally was never intended to deal damage, now has the capability to kill enemies, albeit very slowly. It's worth noting that just like Kick, the only piece of this set that applies damage is the leggings. The chest plate, helmet, and gauntlets will not contribute any extra damage to the crossbow, so I can just sell them. The next thing I need to do is save Sigurd and grab the Chloranthy ring. But as I'm saving Sigurd, there's some important information I need to address. Yes, I technically know and realize that by equipping the Leggings of Thorns, I will occasionally deal 1 damage to enemies when I roll. A massive, I know. However, this is quite unavoidable, and the leggings are required to beat this run, which is also why I sold the remaining armor pieces. That way, I'm only using the required armor piece for this run. And if you have a problem with that, then please, by all means, show me how you would defeat a boss like Abyss Watchers with only shove without accidentally dealing damage to them with a roll. Go on. I'll wait. In any case, I managed to save Sigurd, grab the ring I came for, and head straight to the Abyss Watchers. And while I can let the Red-Eyed Watcher do most of the damage for the first phase, I can't say the same for the second phase. The damage I do is horrendous, not to mention how bad the shove ability is in the first place. It has very little range, has a high windup, and leaves you open to so many attacks. It puts you right next to the boss, and is overall the worst weapon I've seen in all of Dark Souls. And it's not even close. So I have been left with 2 options. To persevere despite the odds, or to give up. But I'm not the type of person who chooses between 2 options. When my back is against the wall and enemies are closing in from both sides, the only way left to go is through the wall itself. Fun fact, did you know that the tackle skill's stamina damage increases the more you upgrade it? While it does provide us with some reason to upgrade our weapon, the damage that comes from the Armor of Thorns is fixed. Since there's not really a way to improve my damage, the best way for me to power up is to get some levels. And the easiest way to do that is to engage in a 13-minute fight with the Stray Demon. I mean, how bad could you possibly mess up in a 13-minute fight? No. 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 Please. Please. No. It's been 10 minutes. Oh, thank God. This was a mistake. Go ahead, I know you're just gonna throw me over the edge anyway, you coward. Yeah, f you too. I'm definitely going off the edge. Oh. Ah! No, no. You. It's been 20 minutes. Go f off. I don't care. Throw me off the ledge, you won't. I fucking hate this game. I fear no demon, for I have Weird Al on my side. Sit me down safely, you coward. You coward! Oh, I love the lag. Mr. Lord of Lag and all things fucking bullshit. Let me down, you fucking bitch. I'm about to go over the edge. Nice knowing you, fam. Woo! Oh, shit. There's no way I survived this. Holy f... I mean, that was only like 15 minutes. Not bad. All of that just for 20k. Which brings to mind another huge problem with this run. Even getting the souls necessary to level up is a tedious task. There isn't a simple way to grind for the souls, making this a glaring problem for this run. It's a shame that I only get 20,000 souls for a fight that took that long, but I suppose it's better than nothing. You see, for as much as not having arrows has screwed me over, this glitch requires not having any arrows to get the butt scratch animation. Meaning, in a quite poetic turn of events, the very thing that is preventing me from dealing damage is the very same thing that will give me as many souls as I need. The glitch itself is extremely precise and difficult to perform. By opening the confirm window for the soul and performing the butt scratch animation on the same frame, then pressing yes, using your bow's weapon heart, then opening the window to quickly select the Ashen Estus flask, you can trick the game into using any boss soul without consuming it. Basically, all you're doing is you're tricking the game into thinking that you're not using the boss soul, but rather the Ashen Estus flask, but you still get the benefits from the soul. It's a bit confusing, and it's really easy to mess up. And if you do mess up, you need to reload from your last backup save. You need to be extremely fast and precise, but with practice you can get it semi-consistently. For this run, I only need about 500,000 souls for now. After that, I allocate the levels like so. Quick Deacher. There's two other items that will be helpful for this fight. The first is the Flame Stoneplate Ring, that way I will take less fire damage, considering it will be what clips you the most often during this boss fight. And second and most important item is the Ethereal Oak Shield, which provides 2 HP a second passive regen, which is huge for these long drawn out fights, basically healing 7,200 health every hour. You can also rapidly unequip it and re-equip it for slightly increased health regen. While I can get stronger health-wise, it's only by a marginal amount. What I currently have is more than enough to fight the Abyss Watchers. All I can do is walk into the unknown and hope that I shall be granted victory.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, if you just play just even a little safe, dude, because you could run away from these guys, like you were even switching your keybinds mid-fight, bro. You could run away from these guys and just heal.
I mean, I took a bunch of damage when I was rebinding, but yeah, I could run.
When you like really clicked your button and you couldn't even move.
I'm rooting for you!
Why is he just spam?
Come on, get him! Get him!
Let's go, dude!
I'm calm. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I fucked your mom last night. You can't do anything about it. I might be too tilted at the moment to properly lock in. My gameplay does suffer when I'm upset, and that's the problem.
Bro. Every time I'm doing so shit at like a boss or something, It's because I'm pissed, dude.
It
Literally.
really is. Yeah. I mean, if this is only how far I'm getting across, like, 20 minutes of combat and all my heals are gone, that's bad. One hour and 36 minutes of combat later, the Abyss Watchers finally die. I don't know if it's just because of when I decided to do it or because I did it in the first place, but the next day I was very mentally tired, to the point where I really don't want to do something like this again. Meaning that the gloves are now off. And to answer your question, no, I can't do the one-shot bow glitch without arrows. Instead, I'm going to pull some completely different shenanigans. Now that my setup is complete, we have to do a little bit of time travel. Back to a day and age when AI wasn't shoved into everything and you could still buy RAM for a reasonable price. Back to 2018. Oh. It seems I have made a grave mistake. I had plans for this run, but I am not redoing everything. As much as I love doing insane challenge runs, this is just simply mind-numbing torture. And if I'm not even having a grain of fun, then what purpose is there in doing this in the first place? Because here's the facts. Even if I downpatch and skip every boss that I can, I'll eventually get to the Twin Princes who cannot be skipped or cheesed. If we take the same ratio with Abyss Watchers, it would take me roughly 10 hours to kill the Twin Princes. And Yorm sits around 30 hours if you fought him without Sigurd. Those are the longest fights out of all the Souls games, even topping a bare fist kill of Fire Giant that sits at roughly 8 hours or more. That's not even accounting for the increased amount of mess-ups that would occur over that long of a period of time. Yes, it is technically possible, but what I also found was that is beyond the shadow of a doubt the worst weapon you can use in the entirety of Soulsborne, and it isn't even close. Mainly because it was never intended to deal damage in the first place. And believe it or not, I have a life and like to touch grass on occasion. I might revisit this run if Dark Souls becomes a full-time job for me, but for now, I just can't. And with that, the video is over. The lesson here to be learned is to know your limits and don't go push yourself into mental insanity. With that, until next time, stay safe friends, and don't you dare go hollow.